Welcome to McChats here on McGTV. That's youtube.com/Mike McGTV. And I'm your host, Mike McG, Twitter handle at Mike McGTV. How many more times can I say that? And regardless, welcome back. It's been a while since we've done some McChats live here, but I'm glad to be back with my buddy Dan Baugher from 3 Geeks Podcast over at youtube.com/3 Geeks Network. How you been, Dan, since I talked to you last night?
Pretty good. Just been watching some crappy movies.
Well, crappy's such a relative term.
Well, I'm not saying that it's not enjoyable, but
yeah. So we're back, and as always, I like to talk to Dan about, these films vary in quality, definitely, but they're kind of the underappreciated Z-grade exploitation, kind of cult classics, all that type of good stuff.
it's the stuff your parents warned you about watching.
Yeah. So for today, it is actually this 1991 film, which I feel this is the most recent film we've discussed on here. It beat out Wired by 2 years, I think.
Wow.
So 1991, a martial arts thriller that I guess is actually based off of a manga and an anime before it, but it's entitled Riki-Oh, The Story of Riki. And Dan and I, before the podcast started, we mentioned that neither one of us is really familiar with the manga or the anime, but from what I've read up on it, the story in this movie follows it pretty close in terms of adaptation, with just a couple of changes here and there. So, Dan, do you have a glorious summary for this film?
Sure. At the beginning of the film, bus drives up to a prison, and a bunch of sad, newly imprisoned people come out. One dude's doing 5 years from stealing from his company, which is, I thought, was kind of funny, because that's how they phrase it. Like, this guy here for stealing from his company.
Well, yeah. Given the time of this event, this very futuristic event set in the year 2001, I could buy that.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, the whole thing is given to you in broad comic strokes. I mean, but you're introduced to Riki, whose name is Riki-Oh, I guess, in the English translation of this. So I don't know if they got the cover wrong or if they just screwed that during the dubbing. Anyway, he goes to prison, and he realizes that it's horribly corrupt, and he's like the white knight for the rest of the prisoners. So he goes through trials and tribulations of both getting his ass kicked, but kicking more ass than he is given.
Yeah, very much. Before Oz made itself known, there was this movie with regards to maintaining order in a prison and all the different factions that apparently get to do whatever they want to do.
But don't fool yourself. There's miles of interpretation between this and Oz.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I told you. Yeah, leaps and bounds.
And it all culminates in him like beating up the big wigs of the prison, and until you get to the very end where he just punches through the prison wall and he says, "You're all free."
Yeah,
which is probably not what you want to do at a prison, because most of these guys are in there for something bad.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking at the two things kind of where I was coming to mind. One was that, like, I never really got the feeling in this movie that it was an idea that his power had to grow over time, because he kind of starts out pretty much at full Superman.
Oh, yeah.
So part of me is like, dude, you could have punched a hole through this wall this whole time. You could have done yourself a big favor. And yeah, two was like, a good chunk of those guys are probably there for good reason.
There's just so much. I mean, this movie is basically, to me, the equivalent of having a fever dream.
A gloriously gross fever dream at times too, because it's like Jesus. Some of the imagery, like you can see it on the title card here, but some of the imagery just stays with you for a good amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, when you're watching it, you're watching a movie and stuff's going on, but then you get to the end of it and you're like, what did I just watch? And you kind of shrug and move on.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I don't really regret watching the movie. I
No.
enjoyed it quite a bit, but yeah, it's like super stylized, over exaggerated like violence is what's gonna
Yeah.
stick with me out of everything. Like I'm kind of forgetting like if the acting was at all really good. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell too, given that it's a dub.
It's dubbed. I mean, it's got to be dubbed for laughs. I mean, this can't be like half the prisoners are like tough guy prison for life guys, but the other half are like small children.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've got the one old guy that like made or got, I'm not sure which, this little wooden train.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, it's my train, and then somebody takes it from him, and I think he ends up having it impaled in his skull. But
Of course. Yeah.
but it's just strange.
Yeah, and then you'll have like the very androgynous inmate who is clearly a woman.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, because that's supposed to be a guy. I mean, within the story, it's supposed to be a guy, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But it's just like, screw it. Let's just cast a woman.
Well, even the warden's right hand man, because for most of the film the warden is not present. He's vacationing.
Now, his right hand man, did you mean that on purpose because he's got a hook hand?
Maybe. But if you look in his office, like it's very sparse, but behind him is a bookcase full of porn. And
Okay.
I don't, I mean, it's very stylized. I'll give it that.
I'll buy it. Sure. I mean, this is definitely one of those movies where it's like the only likable character I really felt was Ricky.
But Ricky's kind of a douche.
I mean, yeah, he is, but out of everyone else in here who's just straight up like sadistic, like when he blows up people with his fists, it's mainly just because people come at him first, or he's seeking out some retribution for that one kid he was showing the leaf blowing trick to who got burned alive or something.
Yeah, he got skinned, I thought.
Skin, that's what it was. He got flayed.
Because it's not enough that he had his tongue cut out so he couldn't talk. They had to skin him and just leave him outside.
Yeah, it's like, man, if I were Ricky, I'd be basically blowing up people's bodies with my fists after all the shit I've seen in this prison.
But during the flashbacks to when, which shows you why he got sent to prison, like his girlfriend is basically kidnapped by these guys that are going to do naughty things to her, and she goes to the roof and just jumps off and commits suicide. And
I know I'm supposed to be like heartbroken about that too, but it's so clearly a dummy.
yeah. I mean, I don't know, but Ricky, he doesn't. I mean, call me out if I'm wrong, but I don't think he runs to her and he's like, "Oh my God, what happened?" His first response is to beat the shit out of the guys, and then he goes to prison.
Yeah, well, no, it's not just like to beat the shit out of the guys, but he like just marches straight into a hail of bullets. From what I recall, it's like, and again, it ties into my whole thing. It's like, dude, so this guy's basically almost bulletproof from the get-go. So okay. But I mean, I like it. It's kind of it's wacky and weird, and it's definitely playing by this hyper reality superhero rule, but it works for me. It makes the action all the more memorable, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not knocking on it because it doesn't. I mean, this obviously isn't like The Godfather or Raging Bull or anything. I mean, this is like directly taken from the manga. Even though I haven't read it, I mean, you can tell that it's
Yeah.
just. I mean, everything's painted in like super broad, bright strokes. Like, this guy's the bad guy. This is Ricky. Bad guy explodes.
hmm there's a lot of manga and anime sensibilities at play here, and the fact
Yeah.
that like when he does have a battle with somebody, and it is that stylized like super quick, like basically decapitating people with a quick jab up
Yeah.
close. But I mean, it worked. If that were animated, you wouldn't blink twice at it. But because it's happening live action, I found it all the more spectacular, especially because, like I mentioned, the practical stuff in
Yeah.
this movie is really good. I mean, aside from his weird white North Star fist at the end where he brings down the wall, I didn't really catch many huge like visual effects. It was all like practical, makeup and modeling and stuff like that.
Yeah, they must have gone through like buckets of fake blood. I mean,
Mm.
just like literal. Like he doesn't just punch a dude. Like his first fight in the prison, he just punches through this guy's, gut, and
hmm
blood just gushes out. And the guards are just like, "Oh, I don't know what to do with that."
I remember saying this to you when we first started talking about this movie. Is that's actually the one kind of body blow that really sticks out in my mind, because I'm like, imagine if you were that fat guy, that would hurt like a hell
Oh yeah.
to have the front of your like belly just blown out the side by a fist. Jeez. Oh, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff, like I was mentioning that one fairer looking guy who's clearly a woman
Yeah.
takes, like, was it the knife, and like slices the dude across the nose, but
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
just across the nose, it's like the whole bottom half of his face like falls off of his head, or not just his face, but like his skin just falls off of his face from that point on, and it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's like this is the live action version of those Sean Bara animes where they slice off a dude's arm and it just like sprays for
hmm
like the whole scene. But this is taken like further. They don't curb it at all.
No, they go for broke in here.
So yeah,
And even though I know this is definitely not something he probably grew up with, because he was making movies at the time, there's a part of me that likes to think that at one point Quentin Tarantino saw this movie and was like, yeah, one day I'm going to do something like this as well. Because I know I love what were some of, I mean, he loves the Shaw Brothers stuff and everything like that.
yeah, he loves the what was it, the Snow Princess
But
flicks.
yeah. Was it on Lady Snowblood?
Lady Snowblood, yeah.
Yeah. But part of me would like to think that he at one point saw this and was like, Shaw.
I mean, I don't doubt it because this had a relatively wide release in the early 90s.
hmm Like, this would have been one of those movies, if had it been released in the early 2000s or something, this would have had his like recommended by Quentin Tarantino or whatever, seal
Yeah.
of approval, like he did for Battle Royale, I think, and something else. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was Battle Royale and it was crap. I forget the other one now. It was like a gangster flick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like Quentin Tarantino, but fine. But some of the stuff he recommends, like Hell Ride, uh,
Yeah.
he might enjoy it, but I have a feeling he would enjoy this if he'd seen it.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all, man.
Now, what I want to ask you is, what are some of the most memorable? Let's see, because we've listed a couple, but ultimately,
Yeah.
your numero uno most memorable death scene or fight.
Oh, dude, when he faces the warden and the warden changes into an oni and
Yeah.
then they run him through the meat grinder in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
mean, that's like my most memorable fight, bar none, in this.
But again, because it goes for that anime sensibility, like everything
Oh
about
yeah.
the warden up until that point, like he just looks like an evil dude. Like he kind of, sort of looks like that one
Oh,
dude with the glasses and you okay?
No. That I said Oni. It's a Tengu.
Oh,
My
Oni,
bad.
yeah, demon or something, yeah.
My bad.
But the fact that when he starts out, I mean, he looks just like, I mean, obviously an evil guy. Like he looks like that dude from Raiders.
He's got that shitty nephew too.
Oh, dude, fuck that kid.
It's like, do whatever you want, kid. Oh
Fuck
boy.
that guy in his mid-20s who's like prancing around in a schoolboy's outfit and being annoying as hell. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
But so he starts out just looking like an evil old guy, but then when they get to that fight, like everything about him gets exaggerated. Like as you can see from here, his eyebrows get like bushy as hell and huge. Like his receding hairline is just like evil scientist sticking out all over the place. But
he gains a good 2 feet.
I know he gains like a good, I want to say 5 feet and like 300 pounds or something in muscle. But it's like also the transformation sequence for me in that is like amazing too, because what they did clearly, well, they made it looks like they put like a Stretch Armstrong action figure in a suit, because he's, instead of like showing off like here's what they do today with like the Hulk, they'd CGI the Hulk and he just start bulging all over the place. This guy, no, his arms like become Mr. Fantastic long and stuff like that. And then like I love the effects work they did for his face, where I feel they just took a cast of the actor's head, and detailed it, but it was like a really thin, I'm guessing latex or something, and they just were pushing something against it, so it looks like his face is like rubbery and is jutting out.
It does look pretty damn awesome.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like it works really well for an in-camera effect. I really like it quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that this was done on a relatively shoestring budget, but that makes it better.
I feel so here. I was curious, what else is this? Are you familiar at all with the crew or the director?
I am not, because I didn't do any homework on this, sadly.
I'm looking at Lam Nai Choi. Let's see if there's anything else he had a movie before Story of Ricky called Erotic Ghost Story.
Oh God.
Is that you know that?
I have heard about it, and pretty much what I've heard is pretty damn bad.
Oh, okay. Maybe we'll visit it another time. Let's see the main guy, Ricky, Fan Shu Wong.
Fan Shu Wong.
He is Jin Shanzhao in IP Man and IP Man 2.
Ip Man.
Sorry. I've never seen Ip Man.
Oh,
sorry.
dude, you need to see those.
Yeah. I've seen them all like in my Barnes and Noble, shelves and stuff like that for pretty cheap. So, but yeah.
But at least the first 2, I haven't seen 3 yet, but they're done very well. The second one even has Sammo Hung. And I like me some Sammo when he starts beating the crap out of things.
He's in On His Majesty's Secret Service, which is a parody of On Her Majesty's Secret Service, I guess. So okay, good. The Monkey King from 2000.
He's in Wudong, which is pretty bad.
What's the Monkey King? Oh, that just sounds like something that Jackie Chan would be in, probably.
Well, yeah, that's a legend of China.
Yeah. Okay, so
it's been done a million times.
How did this go over too? Yeah, I'm looking at the positive overseas positive. Yeah. Oh wait a minute, it got NC7 or Hong Kong equivalent to NC-17 when it came out, Category 3. One of its first Category 3s for a non-erotic film.
Nice.
And the Village Voice liked it, so good for them.
It was nominated for 2 film awards. the Hong Kong Film Award and the Hong Kong Film Critics Society Award for Best Supporting Actor and Best Actor.
Who was the best supporting actor?
Was nominated. Hold on, I got to go back to it now.
Because throw a stone and you'll find a supporting actor in there.
Yeah. I mean, there's 500 million of them. Best actor Ching Toy,
King Toy.
who
I'm not seeing no on here. Huh.
I don't know.
Unless they're going by another name. Again, the only name that's sticking out to me is the woman's name, Gloria Yip, as his girlfriend. But
I don't know.
oh well. But I mean, good for it. I mean, I can understand why this has cult following. It's really
God.
enjoyable.
There's a parent's guide on IMDb.
What?
I I love reading these for like, really nasty films.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I find them highly amusing.
What do they say? I mean, give me
violence and gore, a ridiculously high amount of graphic but cheesy gore and carnage, exploding heads, skinning, stabbings, disemboweling, severed arms, hands, a jaw-ripping, bloody mincings. The violence depicted is of the excessive but highly unrealistic variety.
But so he's not really saying don't take your kids to see it.
Yeah.
He's just kind of saying what's in it. He's not really saying it's bad for them.
Wait. Sex and nudity. Several scenes are set in an open prison shower. The buttocks of several male prisoners can be seen from time to time, though in non-sexual manners.
Yeah, there you go. It's I mean, what do you expect? People go to the shower with their clothes on? Come on.
Yes.
So I'm not hearing a no from this guy so far.
Yeah. Well, they don't. They never say don't take your kids. They just tell you what's in the movie because that's
Part of me just would like to think that that's actually part of their recommendation.
Yeah.
It'll be better than taking him to see Independence Day Resurgence.
What the hell? Naked asses and guys getting disemboweled. It's fine.
They'll probably have a better time with Riki-Oh fighting people than they will with Liam Hemsworth trying to act. So, that's the thing is, like, I buy every pissed off and pained expression on this dude's face. Like,
yeah.
Which boggles me a little bit too, because his invulnerability and uber strength are kind of all over the place at times. I'm like, man, nothing can stop this dude. And then all of a sudden, like, he's in pain from, what was it? Not the warden, but his second in command. Like,
when he claws his hand and just starts slapping him.
Yeah, and he's like seriously like looking like he's in severe pain and everything. I'm like,
yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, maybe he's like Sonny Chiba in the Street Fighter, and you really have to piss him off before he turns into like Sam Peckinpah's just unbreakable killer.
Yeah, maybe that is it. In the point where he's just like, maybe he does have to work his way up. Like, he has to get the right amount of adrenaline going to not feel a thing.
Because I mean, if you're just sitting in this guy's office surrounded by food and porn, I mean, you're not gonna.
your defenses are pretty lowered.
Yeah,
sure.
But if you're out in the rain, fighting some dude chick, then it's fine.
Yeah, that's the other thing about this prison that just like, I mean, I get it. It's about corrupt officials also, but the fact that, like, really, is this that big a deal to be in this prison? Everyone seems to kind of just do what they want regardless.
Yeah, I mean, most of the guys seem to just kind of hang out, and then you've got that, angry group that just go around and skin people for apparently no reason.
Yeah, if it wasn't for those guys, like, this place would be perfectly fine. People would be like, fine, I get to go to prison for 5 years, whatever.
Yeah. I guess I will steal from my company.
Now, here's something I wanted to, it's becoming like a regular thing with these McChats and stuff like that, is the idea of, at some point, some executive somewhere will be like, either this needs a reboot, or or this needs to be dragon tattooed and brought over to the States.
Oh God.
Either one, what could you see working better, and who would you kind of feel would take over the reins of such a film or such a story?
Like, are we gonna reboot it here in the States, or?
I don't know.
Oh,
There's no plans from what I get.
yeah, that's because that's not gonna happen like this. So
No.
basically, what they would turn it into was they would get like Clint Eastwood to direct,
Mm-hmm.
and oh yeah, they got a dude crucified too for some reason.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because yeah, that's fine. I forgot about that part.
That's like number 80 on the list of 90 things wrong that happened.
Yeah, but it would be like a strong drama picture, and they would change it to a women's prison, and you would have like let's see, who's big now, like drama wise.
Oh, I was about to go for comedy.
No.
Drama wise,
Yeah.
would you still want the protagonist to be like this tough as nails character that could?
Well, they would make it into like a new version of like G.I. Jane in prison.
Oh,
to show the empowerment, and then she brings down the wall at the end.
I mean, if we're going for like a serious, like this is what the serious kind of Americanized reboot would be, I'd say Charlize Theron would probably be
okay. Yeah, and she gains like 40 pounds.
I mean, I could see her do that. I could see her get ripped as shit to do this.
Yeah, and just have them fight against prison guards, because you can't do like the prison films of the 70s, the exploitation flicks, but you can turn it serious and have everything that those had in it, but then it's for a good cause, you see.
Yeah, I can kind of see that essentially.
So that's what I'm gonna do here with how they would do it here in the US.
It's going to be like you're going to be thinking deep and thought-provoking thoughts while this is going on.
Yes. While you see the women in the showers and being abused by the angry German headmistress.
Oh no, that's a series of films that I don't know when that'll get its day in the sun for reboots or whatever. But again, that's a idea I'm kind of tinkering with for another time. That will probably.
I didn't even have to name it either. So there you go.
Yeah, that's the whole deal. It's like no, we'll keep it like it'll be. What was that movie that came out with? Oh, that was Ricky and the Flash, though. That's not. That was that Meryl Streep dramedy about a rock star who's.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, she would keep the name Ricky, obviously.
Yeah,
but it'd be like short for something else. Like, what was it, Veronica? I guess, or
sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I could see like this more serious take on it going over here in the States a little bit more. I don't know if someone like Quentin got a hold of this material, he definitely could still have the fun that it had in the 90s as well.
I'm not sure, because I think he wants to be more serious now.
I mean, he's serious, but he still has an eye for gross spectacle.
Oh yeah,
I like the story of Hateful Eight. It is very compelling, but people get messed the fuck up in that thing still.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but like look at Grindhouse. Look at his Grindhouse flick
versus Rodriguez's.
Yeah. Like Rodriguez is all about the nasty spectacle and just whatever. Mm-hmm. Where Tarantino is a bit more. I guess he's trying to be thoughtful.
Yeah.
And I did not like Death Proof, but I liked the other one a lot more.
Yeah. So Rodriguez maybe would be with guest directing from Tarantino. He could do the scene where Ricky's connecting with the kid with no tongue.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
That'll be his little 5-minute piece, and Ricky can go on this tangent about
cheeseburgers,
why she's there, and all the kid has to do is go
Yeah, you see, kid, I had a girlfriend, and then she jumped off a roof, turned into a mannequin, and then I beat up a bunch of guys.
Yeah, give him the flashbacks. That'll work.
Yeah.
Guest directing is in the flashbacks. He can bring back what was his name from Kill Bill? Her master. I can't remember
Oh,
the actor's name, but yeah, her
you mean
teacher.
you mean David Carradine?
No, not David Carradine.
Oh,
Oh, because no, he's dead.
yeah. Well, you know.
No, her when he sends her to train.
Oh,
I can't. He's like a stuntman, but I can't remember his
yeah,
name.
that's Gordon Liu.
Gordon Liu. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
playing
bring him
Pai
back.
Mei.
Yeah, Pai Mei. That was the character's name I was trying to think of.
Yeah, yeah, and you should always remember Pai Mei if you're into like Hong Kong flicks.
Oh, because he's like a recurring character.
Well, yeah, he's the dude that basically burned down the Shaolin Temple and turned on the Shaolin monks.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's always the bad guy.
Yeah. So he's like a standard that you have
Yeah.
to meet in every one of those films. But I actually like your interpretation of it. Is like that's a female reboot I can get behind, definitely.
Yeah, I still haven't seen Ghostbusters yet, so
Oh, and
I'm still kind of rooting for it.
I mean, I said I was done talking about it. Honestly, I have no problem with the women being in it. It definitely needed better comedy. Like I said in my review, but I mentioned like I could see Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn playing these exact same roles, and it wouldn't be funny there either. So
Yeah, I got you. I can't stand Ben Stiller, so
yeah, there you go too. So well, he's not in it, so enjoy.
yeah, there you go. I can watch the movie and say at least I'm not watching Ben Stiller do this.
Yeah, that's a selling point.
Yeah.
Well, Ben Stiller, he had his chance this year with Zoolander, and so let's see. I'm trying to think of a cool rating system for this movie.
I don't know. I mean, given all its flaws that we've picked apart, I mean, this movie is definitely not made to be taken in any sense of seriousness.
No, not at all. But I mean, yeah, it's got flaws, but they're really enjoyable flaws.
Yeah, I mean it's a happy romp through prison, as weird as that sounds.
Yeah, I mean, I still wouldn't want to be there because most likely I'd be one of those quote unquote red shirts getting like the 2x4 with nails in the face and everything.
Yeah, it's my train. Ah.
So it's like I wouldn't want to be there, but I have fun being the fly on the wall, definitely.
Yeah, real.
And I definitely the warden in this movie I found to be way more tolerable than the warden in Human Centipede 3.
Oh, I still haven't seen that one.
Don't.
But I have to. Come on.
You don't have to. I mean, I like Dieter Laser just fine, but
I mean, it's the same reason that you had to watch Zoolander 2. You see?
yeah, I guess that's how that remake would get fucked up because Rodriguez would hire Dieter Laser to be like, "Hey, you played a batshit warden in this one movie. Come back and do it."
Or they just make it serious and it turns into Oz.
Yeah. In which case, I've got how many seasons of this you can reference?
Yeah, really.
Oh, you there, J.K. Simmons as the warden. There, just because the dude's jacked already, so you don't have to.
Yeah, that's fine.
You don't have to get a completely different dude to play the warden in that final fight scene.
Or if J.K. Simmons won't do it, get oh damn it, Skinner from X-Files.
There
Close
we go.
enough.
Just make sure whoever it is that they're jacked so that they can do all their own fighting. And that's the one thing is like this movie would have to have actual one-on-one combat taking place in front of the camera. None of this CGI beating up just a giant computer-generated dude.
Yeah, but actors don't fight anymore.
Yeah, they're such delicate flowers, aren't they?
Yeah.
I totally recommend this movie for anyone. I mean, because let's face it, I like Battle Royale a lot. I love the Street Fighter series.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I like zoned out there, and I was like, wait, like Raul Julia.
No, no. I enjoy that for Raul Julia, and that's
Yeah.
but nothing else. But no, like the Sonny Chiba Street Fighters.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
And even at this point, this was a nice callback to them at the point this came out, because this was 91, so those films were kind of classic at that point.
Well, they even used the X-ray punch scene.
Oh yeah, that's right. Like, what was
yeah.
it? He like punches that one dude in the head, and then immediately like turns to, was it green or red?
Yeah.
His skull's like caved. You can see his skull's like caved in, starting at the nose. Yeah, before Mortal Kombat was doing it, you had Riki-Oh.
I don't know.
This was missing someone getting their eyeballs punched out of the back of their head.
Yeah, that's true. Or I don't know. Does anybody get like the Street Fighter ending of their throat ripped out?
I don't think. I think the closest thing we did get was just that one dude gets half his face sliced.
Yeah,
but no, they tend to go for I mean, that's the thing. It's like gory as hell, but it's pretty standard. Like, yeah, someone gets a head punched off.
Yeah,
that one big dude gets his abdomen caved in.
Jesus.
But yeah,
and like goop just comes out too. I mean, if you got to see this movie to see that.
People. Yeah, I mean, if we're not so, I mean, here's the whole thing. If what we're saying entices you a little bit,
yeah, I mean, do you like gore? Do you like insane movie premises that pretty much deliver?
And this is the one for ya.
Yeah, I mean, it's brainless, yes, but it's great.
The big question: Would Max enjoy this, you think?
I don't know.
Has anyone in our little circle of people seen this outside of you and me?
I'd have to say probably not. But then I really don't know.
That's what I'm kind of thinking, is like, because you and I have this like sensibility for this type of movie. we're able to forgive a lot for certain films, whether it's done in poor quality or whether it's done with, whether it's done the fact that this is just a movie that you and I get.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it all comes down to the spectrum. I mean, where you don't want to be is in the middle because you're boring. Mm-hmm. You want to be on the ends.
Yeah. It's like, at least entertain me in some way, shape, or form with your badness or with your sheer, like, out of this world crazy ideas.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like a Kung Fu Plan 9 from outer space, really.
You know what? I could see that, definitely. I mean, it's got better quality than Plan 9 from outer space. I mean, but I don't think anyone here is anyone's hairdresser or something like that to stand in for anybody.
Maybe that's where the chick came in. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that is it. It's like someo's daughter or something. It's like
hey, you want to be in a movie? Hey, cool.
It's an all dudes prison, but we'll give you this really boyish haircut.
Yeah, there you go.
And you don't want to be the damsel in distress? Okay, fine. You'll play a dude. But that's the thing, is we need to get a third person on the McChats. I know we've been kind of talking about this idea for Three Geeks as well, but we need someone on here, because you and I can just keep going back and forth like, oh, remember when this happened? Or this happened? We need someone to completely like pull the rug out from under us at times and just be like, nah, I thought that sucked.
Yeah, we need somebody that doesn't like this stuff.
I don't know, because I mean, you and Max do pretty well on Shaolin Sofa, so yeah, I have a feeling he'd be okay with this.
I love Kung Fu, and Max hates everything that I bring up, so that I guess that works.
Maybe that would work, yeah. But then you tell him it's based on a manga or an anime, and he might like it.
Yeah, it kind of pissed me off because we haven't gotten to what the hell was the movie we were doing? Anyway, it's supposed to be a biopic of one of the 10 tigers of Canton, and he didn't get it, and I can't wait to tell him that, but we haven't done it yet.
Well, I can't wait to watch that. And You can watch that over at youtube.com/3geeksnetwork.
After we do it.
After they have announced that they'll do it, there you go.
True Legend, that's what it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I have heard of that one.
Yeah, it's got like a quarter of a film after the film should have ended.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I don't know.
Hmm.
But that doesn't happen in this film.
No, this film really doesn't have slowdown moments at all. It kind of clips along pretty well. And that's the thing, is like the flashbacks definitely could feel like the long part of the haul. Definitely, you could definitely feel like those are when it really slows down a bit, but it really doesn't there because all that crazy stuff with his girlfriend happens.
Yeah, I mean this,
and his training sequences in the graveyard too are like amazing.
Yeah, like here, have some tombstones. Who was buried there? Who cares?
Who cares?
I don't
Break
know.
that shit.
Yeah, look, now it's on your arms. But yeah, I mean, say what you want about this, but they have a plot, and it goes up, and then it goes down, and then the movie ends, and that's it.
Yep, I'd say it's a good. How long is it? It's a good 90 minutes to enjoy.
Yeah, well, let me check.
You're not gonna. Yeah, it's like 9. I think it says 91 minutes or something like that.
Oh, it doesn't even tell me. Damn you, Media Asia.
I'm surprised you can even read it.
Yeah, really. 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Color, not rated.
Oh, it's rated something.
Not on this one, it's not.
Which ask me, there's no like director's cut or extended version of this, is there?
I don't believe so. I mean, I think I have the only printing that they made in the U.S. It's Tokyo Shock Media Asia one.
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm reading up on some of this home video and online releases here.
Yeah.
Oh, the Blu-ray's out. I might have to look up the Blu-ray, honestly.
Nice.
It was on Turner Classic Movies in 2012.
It's like right after a Streetcar Named Desire.
Can you imagine that guy who's always on there interviewing like crew members or historians about, like, at the very end of this movie, you fade in on him like sitting by the fireplace or whatever the stage is, and he just has this really like horrific look on his face. Like,
He's just like, well, that happened.
That's great. Oh man, I wish I'd watched it at that point. I don't know what it would be, like 5 minutes.
Yeah, really. Just
like his girlfriend scenes, and that's it. Because everything else,
there's scenes of talking, but it makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's like, when you pick up the movie version of like a Chinese like series that have gone on for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then they make the hour-and-a-half condensed version, so like people are like flying in and out of the frame, and you don't know who the hell they are. That's what this would look like. It's like, oh, you got magic sword now. Oh no, dragon. Oh well, hey, you got a crown, and that's it.
Story's over. See you next week.
Yeah.
Oh man, I really wish I'd seen it on TCM now.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I don't know if there's. That's pretty much it for us on this. It's harder when we're talking about stuff that we don't actually like or stuff that depresses the shit out of us.
Yeah, like I had 3 pages of notes for Wired. This I just watched and smiled. So,
so here's the whole deal. Dan's gonna go rewatch it. I'm gonna go get the Blu-ray if I can find it somewhere. And we're going to try to get Max to watch this, and he'll hate every minute of it.
Yeah, because Max seems to hate everything. I don't know why.
Cranky dude. Anyways, you've been listening to McChats Live here, talking about Riki-Oh, the story of Riki, which both Dan and I highly recommend if you haven't gathered by now. If we haven't spoiled all the awesome stuff by just talking about it, don't worry. Watching it and talking about it are 2 completely different things. Once you take in this visual feast, you're going to be...
We can tell you, we could probably read you the whole script, and it would look different in your mind than what you would watch here.
And the thing is like the way I watched it, it's like it's I think it's streaming. Is it on Netflix right now?
I do not know. I've
It
had
might be
this
on
on
Netflix.
disc for years, and I rewatch it every now and then.
I just found it like I forget. It was like on YouTube or somewhere, Outlook or whatever. I found a streaming version of it. So good stuff. Check it out at some point. But I'm probably gonna go buy the Blu-ray. Honestly,
yeah,
I feel like this is something
totally worth it.
I want this next to my. I feel like this could be a worthy addition next to my Raid movies and next to Battle Royale and the Street Fighter series.
On the front of the DVD, it has a blurb that says includes the hilarious exploding head scene as featured on Comedy Central's The Daily Show.
I forget. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. So
oh man, I do remember that.
there you go.
Welp, there you go. You might have seen it at some point. I guess that's a very memeable moment.
Like half this movie is quite memeable.
There you go. So if you're really into memes, you are gonna enjoy this. But that's all for Riki-Oh, the story of Ricky. Thanks again, Dan. This is a good recommendation. I had a lot of fun revisiting this. And it's good to talk about something that isn't thoroughly soul crushing, like something like Wired. So
yeah. So next time, something horribly depressing, you're saying?
If we must. I mean, we could start out with something that has the best of intentions, but then it totally torpedoes our goodwill and good feelings.
Yeah.
But start thinking. Or if you want, leave us a comment and say like, hey, you guys should watch this. So go for it. And have a good night, everyone. You've been listening to McChats Live here on McGTV, youtube.com/MikeMcGTV.